Hey, what's going on, everybody? Who 186 back again with another video. This is a more traditional video. I haven't done one of these in a long time, but I figured since I have gameplay footage to share, I might as well share it here. I want to talk about Tekken 8 because Tekken 8 just recently, Evo Japan is happening right now. I haven't seen a second of it. I haven't had the time. But Evo Japan is happening, and normally with Evo Japan, you're gonna have fighting game news, and we got the first snippets of Tekken Season 2 coming out, and considering all the controversy and situation going on with Tekken 2, especially when it comes to Season 2 of did I say Tekken 2? My bad. I meant Tekken 8. I meant Tekken 8. All the controversy surrounding Tekken 8 and Season 2 specifically, I wanted to make this video. Now, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. I do enjoy Tekken 8. I totally enjoy it. I still enjoy it, even with some of the missteps. But there are certain things that I do need to address, right? And now I am coming from this from a more casual standpoint. Now, let me explain. Now, I've been playing this franchise since Tekken 2, so I'm not really a casual. But when it comes to pro fighting players, I'm very much a casual. Right, I'm not a pro player or anything like that. Excuse me. But I understand. I hear the complaints. I understand it. At one point I thought that the hatred for that was out there for the season, and all the toxicity hurled at Harada and Murray and all those guys were a little bit overblown, and I still do feel that way. But I do understand the complaints. But I guess for me, the reason why I'm not as upset with at least that portion of what's going on with the game is because, one, I'm not a pro player. Like I said before, I'm not a pro player. Two, I kind of understood. Not only did I understand the direction that the game was going in, I also understood what I understood what their mindset of making the game was. It was obvious from day one they were going to make the game more offensive, right? And it was going to be more offensive to appease a casual crowd. That's what their goals were. That's why Rage Art is in the game. That's why the heat gauge is in the game. It's to promote offense, and when you promote offense, you're going after a casual crowd. That's just how it is. It's kind of like that in a weird way. It's like that with sports, right? They More offense equals more viewers, at least in their eyes. And I think with Tekken they went with the same. They went with the same tactic. So I understood it. Now again, is it something that I like per se? Not necessarily, but at the end of the day, as long as the game is fun, I'm good with it. And for the most part, I still think the game is fun. But there is something that I do need to address when it comes to what they're doing with the content. Right now, again, it is Season 2, and I know that. And also, excuse me, I haven't looked at any leaks when it comes to DLC characters, right? Any more DLC characters? We already have. Right now we have Eddie, Lydia, Hahachi, and Clyde for Season 1, and then obviously Anna and Fakaram so far was introduced for Season 2, right? And there's a rumor. I did hear this. There's a rumor that Marduk is gonna be in season. The Marduk gonna be the last character for Season 2, right? Now, when it came to Tekken 7, I thought they had the best combination of returning characters and guest characters that they had when it comes to the DLC. And the thing that I'm noticing with this DLC, and this goes all the way back to Season 1, we're getting the same DLC characters that we had in Tekken 7, and to me that's lazy, very lazy, right? Now I can excuse Eddie being DLC because he wasn't in the previous game. At least, yeah, he wasn't in Tekken 7, right? I can kind of excuse Hachi because he's obviously he's a big part of the storyline. I can excuse that for an extent. Anna, Fakaram, Lydia, and if the rumors are true, Marduk, I cannot excuse whatsoever. I cannot excuse whatsoever because those were DLC characters in the previous game. What are we doing? Adding DLC, the same DLC characters we had in the previous game. What are we doing there? You know what I mean? Like to me, at the very least, two of those characters should have already been in the game. Lydia and Fakaram. Because those characters were introduced in Tekken 7 DLC very late in DLC also. It's not like they were like part of season 1 or anything like that. I know Fakaram was part of the last season. I think Lydia was also. So for them to be the late newcomers in Tekken 7, and then put them behind a paywall for Tekken 8, to me that's garbage. At least for me, it is, right? And it's not like I'm a big fan of either one. Like I like both characters, but it's not like I'm like this stand and won't pay for it. Like to me, I just find the whole practice to be garbage. And then I also have to say this. I thought that the Clive edition was lazy also. You know what I mean? He to me he comes off as a very lazy character to make because it's just to me it just felt like it was just I wouldn't say Noctis 2.0 because I actually kind of feel like Victor is that way, but I mean I don't know, I just feel like you could have done something better with that character, right? So what I'm going at is I believe that their post game content so far has been garbage, has been pure garbage. Like I'm just being real. Because every DLC character they've introduced so far has been DLC character in the last game, with the exception of Hahachi and Clive, right? And Clive obviously first guest character, and Hahachi, obviously, he was in the last game. I guess based on their storyline, it does make a little bit of sense, but yeah, the other ones are inexcusable in my opinion. Like these characters should have already been in the game to be completely fair. And considering all the stuff, and and to be honest with you, I thought that the season 2 rollout. Now, mind you, this was probably made well in advance, right? And obviously well in advance of the problems that was going on with season 2, right? With the balancing issues and the and just the way that the game was heading in. A lot of people were not I'm assuming that the chaos of season 2 caught the Tekken brass off guard. So I believe these additions, these announcements for season 2 were gonna come out no matter what, right? And I get it. But what they're giving us for season 2 to me is not good enough. It's simply not good enough. Like even past the characters, I don't mind celebrating Pac-Man. Pac-Man, one of the most legendary characters in gaming history, absolutely. But that stage that they have won is way too colorful, way too colorful. And that's kind of one of the few problems I have with the game from aesthetically is that it's too colorful in certain parts, right? When it comes to the particle effects and all the other shit, right? And then you add the stage, which to me is just a blatant rip off of what they did. I forgot what the stage is called. I forgot what the stage is called. But there's a stage where they're in this plane where there's like blocks around it, and this was in Tekken 7, right? And I believe they had a stage like this in Tekken Tag too. But you get what I'm saying. I feel like this is the same stage, but they just put a bunch of Pac-Man bullshit out around it, right? The stage that they're giving us is not good, and the overall content is not that good either. They're doing crossover with the next Karate Kid. I mean, I guess that's to be expected. But yeah, man, I just don't think this. I don't think the season two content so far has been mid. And I like Marduk, but him not being in the core game to me, I don't know, man. Like, and he was DLC in Tekken 7 also, and it's like, can we be a little bit more creative with our DLC pack? Now again, when it comes to like character, they have a lot of characters in the game, right? Like they had a whole bunch in 7. To me, they could have done something where they could have added maybe maybe they could have added one of the new characters in 7 that didn't make it to 8, like Katrina, Josie, and mind you, I don't like those characters. Didn't really care about any one of those characters except for Shahid, and Shahid is already in the game, right? But for me, they could have done that. They could have added. I know a lot of people are talking about Bruce, how they didn't have Bruce, but they added Fakaram. I don't really care either way. I don't mind Fakaram, but like I said, he was a late addition in Tekken 7 and should have been. He should have already been in Tekken 8. Truth be told, should have already been in Tekken 8. But I don't really have a problem with that. I just think they could have done something a little bit more creative with the character that they're chosen. All they're doing is reselling us DLC from Tekken 7, and to me, that's garbage. That's absolutely garbage. And for a company like a company like not necessarily a company, but because a company is always going to prioritize money. I get that, but for Harada and the crew, like, and I get they have a lot on their plate because of the whole, you know, the backlash of season two. I get it, but the selection that we have for the selection we have for the DLC is not been good. And I don't know if it's going to get any better because, like I said, I'm not looking at leaks or anything like that. I just heard from a video I watched previously that Marduk is probably going to be the next DLC character to come out. And like I said, he was DLC for Tekken 7. You know what it's like? It's like now in Street Fighter 5, Luke was introduced in I believe the final season as a new character. But they put him in Street Fighter 6 because he was, according to them, a major part of of Street Fighter 6. So it would be weird if they took him, if they made him DLC for Street Fighter 5, and then he's the first DLC for Tekken 6. That wouldn't make any sense whatsoever, in my opinion. And that's unfortunately what Namco is doing with these DLC with the DLC selection. So yeah, like, to me, honestly, like, it makes the post content of this game been garbage, and I felt like Tekken 7 post content, especially I want to say around season 2, season 3, was fucking epic. You know what I mean? With Geese and you know I forgot who else was I forgot the list, but I remember them adding Geese. How was pretty crazy. You know what I mean? And but this so far it's been bad, man. Like, I don't think it's been good. And then you add into to all the stuff that the pro players are saying about the game, and how casualized it's become. Yeah, man, it hasn't been good for them, man. It really hasn't been good for them. And then now, mind you, this is going to be the only Tekken game we're going to have for this generation, more than likely, right? I know Harada said this. Harada said that he doesn't feel like there's a demand to play classic Tekken games. I don't know where he got that from. If he asked me, I would say no. But I do think that's strategic because I don't think he wants people not playing Tekken 8, right? I don't think he wants people not playing Tekken 8. So So I think that's the main reason why we're not getting a remaster of like of the Tekken games, right? Like to me, if it was up to me, I would love a remake of Tekken 4 and Tekken 5, right? And for different reasons. Tekken 4 to me is one of the most is the most unique Tekken game they've ever made. And yes, it has a myriad of problems, right? Like it is by no means a perfect game. But there are aspects of that game that are really awesome, and I would like to see them do a remake of that. And obviously, Tekken 5 to me is the best Tekken game ever made. Right, so for that, I would like them to remake that as well. So I mean, at the end of the day, I just when I look at what they're doing when it comes to the content, I just to me I don't like the direction that they're going in. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like these DLC characters they're just rehashing DLC characters, and to me that's garbage. That is absolutely garbage. You know what I mean? Like I can forgive any gameplay stuff because those stuff they can fix. Those stuff they can fix. The reusing of DLC characters to me is no excuse. It really is no excuse. Like and then obviously, like I have the most of the DLC characters I have right now except for Clive because I refuse to use that character. I have no interest in that character. Um, you know what I mean? But like yeah, man, I just and I'll probably buy Fakarum and whoever else they add. As long as I like them, I'll buy them. But like I don't know, man. I just wish they would have done more. I wish there was more. I wish there was more thought and creativity put into these selections for DLC characters, right? And I get it. They have a bunch of characters in the game. I get it, but and a lot of the characters in seven were a lot of the DLC characters in seven are like were I want to say legacy characters like Lei Wulong was DLC, Ganryu was DLC, Julia was DLC. So they have a lot. They have a lot of characters, legacy characters that they added in Tekken 7, right? Like Kunimitsu was also a legacy character that they added at DLC for Tekken 7. But it would be nice if they went, outside the box a little bit. Maybe bring back a Bruce Irving. Like I said, I don't have a problem with Fakaram, but bring back a Bruce Irving. Maybe, give us I don't know, do something. Like I just feel like it should have been. I just feel like it should have been something more creative, in my opinion. Yeah, it should have been more creative. Um, yeah, I'm just yammering at this point. So I'll leave it there. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. And have a good night.